In him do I live, move, and have my being. In him do I live, and I have my being. 'Cause I'm nothing without you. I'm nothing without you. I'm nothing without you. I'm nothing without you. I want to talk to us today about confidence. I'm Giselle Johnny, author, speaker, and holistic life coach. I'm also a pastor, minister of the gospel of Jesus Christ. And the thing that made me rise up to do these things is not because I felt worthy. As a matter of fact, I felt so unworthy. And when I realized that there was a call upon my life, I started to say, God, this has to be a mistake. It took years of convincing. As a matter of fact, I was never convinced, to be quite honest. One night I was going to bed after prayer and I heard this voice saying to me, you will answer to me if you don't accept the call of God. And I was so afraid that I had to rise up. I began to weep and I just had to make a decision that I was going to say yes, even though I didn't feel worthy. Why am I sharing that with you? In God you live and you move and you have your being. You were originated by God, not by man. He's the one that called you. And the Bible says to us, he who calls you, he will also do it. Many times we lack confidence and we fear not being able to do what we are created to do because we're depending on ourselves. We're looking at our own ability. But I want to encourage you today, make that shift. Pivot from looking at you and what you're capable of to lifting your eyes up beyond the hills where your help comes from. If God has called you to share the gospel, He has called you to go into business, He has called you to write books, to speak, to inspire, whatever it is that He has called you to do, help children with remedial work, teach, go back to school, do your part. But at the end of the day, what you're really depending on is this God who called you and who will equip you. There's a saying that less strength is required when the axe is sharpened. And so you do your part by sharpening yourself, giving yourself to study, whether it is in a really organized structure as a degree or school, or whether you're going to make life your school by daily researching and studying and giving yourself, whether it is going to be mentored, being personally mentored and taught to become what God has called you to be. Give yourself that opportunity to experience transformation because the God who called you is able to bring you to that place. I want to share with you some helpful things that I had realized in terms of trying to build confidence, God confidence, because I don't really believe in self confidence. When you're confident in God on the inside of you and you look at God, it helps you to be confident in who you are. And so that's why I started with that song. In Him we live and breathe and move and have our being. I remember desiring to write a book for many, many years. And it took me 13 years before that book came to manifestation because I felt unworthy. I would keep writing and scrapping those thoughts over and over and over that 13 years period. But there was a part of me that felt there was someone that would experience breakthrough if I did this. Firstly, I will experience the freedom of knowing I'm no longer there. And God, I'm looking at the journey and compiling the journey where He brought me from and where I am now. And so it was twofold. First, for me, that personal breakthrough. And secondly, to any person who will read it and realize that it doesn't matter how big the struggle was, how hard the adversity, how long the journey, but your willingness to keep pressing on, to keep moving forward. There's a song that I really love, and I'm not trying to be a songstress today, but it goes like this. I'm pressing on the upward way, new heights I'm gaining every day, still praying as I onward bound. Lord, plant my feet on higher ground. Lord, lift me up and let me stand by faith on heaven's stable land, a higher plane that I have found. Lord, plant my feet on higher ground. Why am I singing that? My friend, we have to keep pressing on every single day. It's a war. It's a war of attrition. It's a war to keep you from moving forward. But we have to decide, I'm not going to allow life to limit me. I'm not going to allow the opinion of others to keep me from going forward. And so I know that there may be challenges with self confidence in many of our lives, and it can be very, very intimidating. But I want to encourage you to highlight the positive things about your life, about who you are, and really in highlighting those things, understand that there's greatness inside of you. The Bible tells us that we have these treasures in our earthen vessels, and the excellencies of Him and not of us. So if you really know that God has placed treasures inside of you, why not keep pressing forward to unearth it? Set aside time every day to celebrate the victory, the things that you have overcome, that you're no longer that person behind there. Though you may not yet be the person that you want to become, you have come a long way. And so as you celebrate those challenges, turning those challenges, into celebrations, those victories, because you've come this far by faith, you're giving yourself that opportunity to think positive and to build the confidence in God who brought you thus far that He can take you further. Again, I want to encourage you, sharpen your gifts, sharpen your strengths. Take note of the things that, are uniquely you, the things that you can just do easily, be able to do it without even thinking twice because it's just innate. And someone else would take great effort. So work on those things and sharpen those strengths. Set goals as well. Goal setting is a powerful thing. And if you set goals, realistic goals, some people say, I would say set unrealistic goals that God is able to bring to pass because He put those desires in your heart. The thing about it is we can follow the flow or we can be a salmon and swim in the opposite direction based on conviction. That for me has really, really worked. I'll give you the next 2, 3, 4, and 5 at the Shift Breakthrough Summit. Join us at the summit where we're going to help you to ignite passion and purpose and really help you to go forward in the things that God has called you to do. October the 27th and the 28th. You got to be in the room, my friend, virtually or in person. Click the link, register, and cheers to your next level.